Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Aarna, host of Aarna's News, where on this podcast channel, I aim to eliminate the gender gap in the STEM fields by featuring inspiring female professionals and highlighting their stories and accomplishments to further encourage girls. On today's episode.
So aviation and space exploration are built on teamwork, knowledge, and preparation. Anyone with passion and dedication can excel in this field. So don't look at it as like, wow, this is something which I will never do, or I will not be able to achieve, because as a little girl, I was like that. I never thought I can become a pilot because it was like, wow, this is too out of my approach. But when you put it in steps, in continuous learning, so regardless of the gender or the background, it is achievable. I was not born to be a pilot, I would say, or the space educator, but I became one through learning and perseverance, just like anyone else can.
Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Aarna, host of Aarna's News, where on this podcast channel, I aim to eliminate the gender gap in the STEM fields by featuring inspiring female professionals and highlighting their stories and accomplishments to further encourage girls. Today, I'm pleased to announce our guest, Wing Commander Jaya Tare. Jaya, a first-generation Indian military aviator, is a decorated veteran, entrepreneur, and corporate leader who has shattered barriers in aviation and space. With over 3,500 flying hours and credentials as an aircraft accident investigator, she brings unparalleled expertise to the industry. She made history as the first female officer to serve as Flight Liaison Officer to the Prime Minister of India, earning accolades for her exceptional service, aviation safety contributions, and leadership. She holds a record for landing at some of the world's most dangerous airfields, demonstrating fearless precision and skill. As CEO of Newrizon Space, Jaya blends military discipline, corporate vision, and STEM education, driving innovation in aviation and space technology. Her work is shaping a future-ready space ecosystem, making her a beacon of progress in the global aerospace sector. Now, as Indian ambassador for mission ShakthiSAT, she's leading the world's first all-female space mission to the moon's orbit, set to launch in 2026, a defining moment for women in space exploration. So thank you so much, Jaya, for being here today. Before we dive into the questions, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Aarna, for such a nice introduction. I have nothing to add, and I'm really, really excited to be on board with you. Great to have you and your audience today, and sharing my stories, my journey. It will be great.
Awesome. So my first question for you is, tell us a bit about your career path.
Yeah, so my journey started with an early fascination for science and technology, which was nurtured by exposure to STEM concepts as a very, very young age. Growing up, I was always curious about how things worked, whether it was mechanics of aircraft, vastness of space, physics behind flights, and all those things, like, a curious kid. This curiosity led me to pursue a career in aviation, where I became one of the first generation military pilot in the Indian Air Force. From there, my journey evolved beyond flying. I took on leadership roles, worked on space education initiatives, and eventually founded Newrizon Space. This is a platform dedicated to shaping the future of space exploration through education and collaboration. So, looking back, it all started with that early spark of STEM learning, curiosity, which gave me the confidence to push boundaries and take on challenges others thought it was impossible.
I love that. I mean, I love how your curiosity early on, it kind of fueled your desire to pursue a career in aviation, and you never like let that stop you or anything. You decided to do what you were passionate about and you took charge. I think that's really admirable. Yeah, so my question for you is, what advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours? And do you have any tips to succeed?
Um, the career in aviation and space, I would say the foundation of any great career like mine starts with curiosity and the willingness to keep learning. It's very important at every stage to keep learning. because many a times we see that, okay, I'm successful in one career, whatever dream I wanted, I achieved, and then we stop learning. The moment you stop learning, uh, you are going into the reverse command. And that's why even now, at stage, I keep learning. I keep myself updated on what's happening. I keep myself involved in many other projects which are of my interest. So my advice is to start early, immerse yourself in science, mathematics, technology, because these are the subjects which gave me wings. Never let anyone tell you that a field is too tough or not meant for you, because these careers, especially in aviation and space, require discipline, adaptability, and a problem solving mindset. So embrace every challenge as an opportunity to grow. Lastly, find mentors who can inspire you. At every stage, you should have someone who is inspiring you, wanting you to be more, and never be afraid to ask questions or seek guidance. Because I was, as I said, that I was a curious kid. I kept asking questions: why this, why that? And that's how it came into a career like these niche careers like aviation and space. The sky, quite literally, is not the limit.
Absolutely. And I think it's really important because once you start to take on like really harder classes and pursue a field that's pretty hard, um it's kind of hard to stay focused sometimes, and you have to keep that discipline, and you also have to remember like at like why I started this at the beginning. Like it's because I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, and to keep that early on. Um and I think just like realizing that your future and everything you want to do is molded only by your actions, not the actions of others. So listen to yourself, listen to your North Star, whatever that might be, and do the things you enjoy, regardless of what people around you might be saying. Like, don't really let the naysayers get to you. Otherwise, you're gonna not enjoy things and you're gonna regret a lot. So yeah, just like stay true to yourself. And then, as you said, yeah, just do the things you enjoy.
Very true, very true. Yes, in nowadays, I think staying authentic is very, very important, because that is what makes you unique. You continue pursuing your career, your passion, because all the rest of the world is not at all interested.
Absolutely. They're really not interested. People are always gonna like have something to nitpick at you. So like, why not just do things that you enjoy? Because people are gonna say something regardless. So you might as well do it while you're enjoying what you're gonna do. But yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And then my next question for you is, what is a common myth about your profession that you want to debunk?
I think one common myth is that you need to be exceptionally strong or fearless to be a pilot or work in the space related fields. My answer is no. Because at once, if you look at these women who are in these fields, or it gives like a Tom Cruise look, the maverick, that you are flying the aeroplanes, you are doing all the aerobatics and all those things. But yes, while confidence and resilience help, what truly matters is your ability to learn, adapt, and trust the training process. In the Air Force, it was the training period. I would say the 1.5 years. It's really tough. It's not easy at all. But there are people to guide you. There are people to train you. And believe me, when we are in the training process, you every day you explore a new year. Like every day, I found a new Jaya. Like, oh my God, I can do this. But there were the right people to train me, to push me out of my own boundaries. So aviation and space exploration are built on teamwork, knowledge, and preparation. Anyone with passion and dedication can excel in this field. So don't look at it as like, wow, this is something which I will never do, or I will not be able to achieve, because as a little girl, I was like that. I never thought I can become a pilot, because it was like, wow, this is too out of my approach. But when you put it in steps, in continuous learning, so regardless of the gender or the background, it is achievable. I was not born to be a pilot, I would say, or the space educator, but I became one through learning and perseverance, just like anyone else can.
Absolutely. And I think like the media has like a big thing about that, as you said. Like whenever I watch like military movies or like movies with pilots, it's like always really, really cool. And then for me, like it's not even just for like aviation in general, but it's just for anything that's been glorified. Like sometimes I can't imagine myself doing something because I think that, those people are in a different world of mine, but that's totally not true. Like if you want to do something and if you put your mind to it, then you can do whatever needs to be done. You can achieve any of your goals. And just realizing that, okay, if like your goal is very daunting, like if you have a huge dream, well, then what are the actionable steps that you can take? Like, as you said, like what are like the small things I can do every single day to get me to that goal, to make that unattainable, seemingly goal, attainable, you know?
Yeah.
All right. And this is a great segue to my next question, which is if you could step into my shoes or younger self, what would you have asked yourself that I didn't?
I think the mantra of life, my mantra especially, is I don't run behind success. I run behind a fulfilling life. So my goal is to have a fulfilling life, like everything. I love my family time. I love my work. So it's important to understand that success and fulfillment are two different things. And success often comes from external achievements, while fulfillment is an inner state. So you can be successful yet unfulfilled, and but you ask me, a truly fulfilled person is always successful. So this is one thing all the audience should take home too. So my goal is to have a fulfilling life, and for that I have three mantras I would love to share with all of you. One is never limit yourself. Keep evolving because growth happens outside of your comfort zone. The moment you feel that okay, I'm comfortable in one thing, start reaching out to the other, and that is called a growth mindset. So embrace challenge, seek new experiences, and keep learning. The second and most important thing in today's world is to stay authentic, like I said earlier. Authenticity eliminates unnecessary drama and brings so much clarity to life. The world will always have expectations, but instead of being rebellious, focus on your uniqueness and let your actions speak louder than words. That is the most important thing we should remember, and as young ones, definitely. And the third thing is to train your mind to stay positive, because again, in today's world, it's so much of negativity happening around. You get so much influenced by people and their mindsets. So it's very important to train your mind to have a positive mindset. This will help you navigate through anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love the point that you said that like one should chase like after being fulfilled and not success because like when you really think about it, like at the end of the day, like the king and the pawn go back to the same chess box like at the end of the game. So like it doesn't really matter what you do and your like what type of role you attain, which like it could matter to a lot of people, but at the like true end of it, were you really happy when you were fulfilling your things? Like was it something that really aligned with you? And I think that it's really important to realize that you shouldn't be too caught up in like the name game, like if you've gotten X, Y, Z or blah blah blah. But if you've actually been happy, if you've done the things you wanted to do, like things that are not too materialistic. And I think just like staying true to yourself, as we've like talked about before, that's really, really important because like in today's day and age, like it can be so simple to like get caught up in the next Insta reel or the next TikTok. But if you actually stay true to like, okay, this is what I want to do, and not gonna let, as we said before, the naysayers say, okay, I can't do this, then that's really important because there's always going to be a bunch of things online and out there. So if you can just stay authentic to yourself and optimistic, then there you go.
Yeah, and I would really like to share that what is my goal. My goal at 80, 90, like, when I'm 80 or 90s, whatever I live, I should look back and say, wow, what a life. So that's my goal in life.
Absolutely. And my next question for you is, what are the best resources or books that have helped you find your career path?
So I am not into books. I would say that I read, but I'm more into action most of the time. So if you ask me, then hands-on experience is more It's a more learning experience for me than a reading book. But definitely, one book I would suggest is The Right Stuff by Tom Wolfe. It gave me an insight into the courage and dedication of various aviators and astronauts. So yes, that one book, and rest I look upon reading to journeys of people who have been great in many sense to me. So that's it.
Awesome. And I think like it's really important to realize that people can learn in different ways. Like it doesn't have to be solely restricted from like a book or
Yeah.
some type of online course. Like you can learn in practically any type of facet and being open to that and being receptive to it because you I think what's really funny is that you can get like the best piece of information when you're not really looking for it. So if you stay open to like any type of channel or any type of like facet, um, then you're on your way to like being more engaged and being more willing to learn.
Yes, and if you ask me what is my best resource, those are people, because I love meeting a lot of people, and the best resource is listening, my ears, because I learn a lot when I communicate or listen, and I love these conversations.
100% agreed. And my question for you is what do you think is a vital factor that shaped your career? What was your life before learning it, and what was your life after learning it?
Yeah. So a key factor that shaped my career was the hands-on exposure to science and engineering from a very early age. And it's funny that I picked up everything at home. My father made sure that I was involved in everything he did. I was the little mechanic, I was the little engineer running around, the scientist, always helping with his experiments and fixing things around the house. That gave me a lot of exposure and interest in the subjects I followed upon. That early engagement sparked my curiosity and gave me the confidence to tinker, to question, and to explore. And before I would say that just an eager child fascinated by how things work. But after this, I became someone who understood that science wasn't just something in textbooks, it was a tool to shape the world. And that shift in perspective made a lot of difference from being a curious observer to an active problem solver, set the foundation for everything I achieved later, because then everything came into action. This mindset, this shift in mindset from wondering if I could to knowing that I can changes everything. And I think everyone should carry this kind of mindset with them because it is more actionable and it gives you more return. It makes you clutter free. It makes you a problem solver in every phase of life, whether it is a small thing or big thing. Then you know that okay, I can do it.
Absolutely. And I think what you said there is really important. Like, not that I could do it, but I can do it. And having this mindset that, okay, you know what, like, because I'm doing, whatever, like, I'm tinkering around and I'm actually like engaging in things, like, I have to like change your mindset to not be more static, but to have more of a growth mindset because not a lot of people realize that like if you're actually like open to learning and you like it, like you enjoy it, like even if you don't, you can still fake it till you make it, But just realizing that if you inherently enjoy what you're doing, then you'll have more fun in it, and that'll take you in so many different venues instead of just not being receptive and not and being like closed in.
Yeah, and I think everything starts from your insight, how you think, because that really matters for me. And it has mattered in every phase. Whatever I have achieved, just because I was open to opportunities, I was open to suggestions, whatever is, coming to me, I'm consuming it. That's why I put a filter on many things that I'm ready to consume what I want. It's not that whatever negatives and positives are coming and I'm just listening. No, I have filters and I continue to do that even now.
Love that. And because we have some additional time, what's one thing you wish you had known when you began your career?
Oh, I wish I had known the value of having a mentor or an adult who is there for you throughout your life, someone to guide through the uncertainties and challenges. I didn't have that. So I have to figure out many things on my own, often through trial and error. Looking back, I realize how much easier the journey could have been with the right support. That's why I now choose to be that mentor for others. I love mentoring kids. I love mentoring everyone who wants to come into the aviation or space sector, because I think now I'm at a stage where I can put the right kind of milestones for them, the right guidance for them. Uh, so this is something I really long for, because self doubt is part of the journey, but with the right mentorship and mindset, it becomes just another challenge to overcome rather than a roadblock.
Absolutely. I love that. I mean, like it's also important to realize that it's not dumb to ask for questions or to ask for help, and just like asking someone about their insights and their tips and trying and like reaching out to people like for help and like maybe asking for mentorship is actually good, and it's not something that you should be afraid of or fearful of, because you can go a long way with just asking people.
True. And I still do it that whatever I like, I reach out to that person and I ask them, how did you do that? Tell me.
Absolutely. And lastly, how do you continue to learn in order to stay on top of things within your role?
As I said, that I'm more on hands-on rather than theory. So I stay engaged in the latest advancements in space and aviation through research, collaboration, and mentoring the next generation. Because when I mentor, it is I have to be updated. So teaching keeps me sharp. It keeps me refined. So currently, I'm leading a project where young girls are building satellites with a planned launch into the moon's orbit in 2026 with ShakthiSAT, as I said. So additionally, I'm documenting a journey of women pilots in the Indian Air Force. So ensuring their stories of courage and perseverance are told.
And that's really, really cool. Like that is so like admirable, and I'm so excited to like hear more about your adventures. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's really important to just realize that, learning doesn't have to stop once you graduate high school or graduate college. Just reading a book, meeting new people, engaging in new conversations that you probably wouldn't have normally been in. Those are all facets of learning, and those are things that we should all be receptive to.
Yes. So it's amazing, amazing to have this conversation with you. I hope that more and more people listen to it and just keep it simple.
Thank you so much, Jaya. I absolutely love talking to you. And before we end off, do you have any last words to the audience?
The last piece, I would say that enjoy yourself. Don't take too much, don't take yourself too seriously. There are many people doing many things. So just concentrate on yourself and uh, look at the bigger picture. Don't get into complex nitty-gritties. Just look at the bigger picture that you have to do big things. You have to continue living your life, a fulfilled life where you have everything. You're enjoying your time with family. You're enjoying with time with your friends. You enjoy your work. So keep the enjoyment part as 90% and rest everything will fall in place.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jaya, for being on this interview with me. I absolutely love talking to you.
Same here, Anna. It was a lovely conversation. Thank you.
Thus, that concludes today's episode. If you want to know more about how I relate to these amazing topics, then stay tuned for upcoming episodes. A free way to support this show is by leaving it a 5-star rating and a review on the player you are listening to. Let me know what you enjoy about this podcast, as it's a chance to tell me what you love about the show, and it helps others discover it too. Once again, thank you for finding me, and I hope we stay in touch with each other. Dito, you're listening to Aarna Sahu, the host of Aarna's News. Toodles!